All right, Tuesday night, Raj is in the house. It's the Kreuger Show, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. A lot to talk about. Kyle spoke today for the first time since Jed had his deal. What did he say? We'll get into it right now. Welcome aboard. Off and running on the Kreuger Show Tuesday night. I hope everybody's having a great one. We're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. And they do run out. Get there early, get some brisket chili. Tell them that Kreuger sent you. All right, we are off and running. A little laggy tonight. Have you noticed a little laggy? I don't know. A little laggy. Yeah, a little laggy tonight. That's not great. Probably should have restarted the computer before the stream. Raj, give me 30 seconds. I'm gonna have to restart this.
All right, let's start it. We want to restart the show?
No, can you just fill for just a minute? Just give me 30 seconds of whatever
All
the
right.
best you got, and I'll be right back.
All right. Well, we're also brought to you by Sharp Corners, Cards and Collectibles. And who else? Clawdaddy Arcade. Talk about Anthony Catania. What's up, Niner gang? Waiting for Larry here. He's got technical difficulties. I hope he fixes it because at the end of the day, we're probably going to have to start the stream over. But how's it going, Niner fans? What in the world? Jed York, Kyle Shanahan. What a bizarre time in 49er land. I hope you guys aren't too upset about it, but we'll see what we're going to say with Larry. He's got all his sponsors. We're waiting for him, and we'll be back in just a jiffy. You want to borrow 140? The loud exhaust competition. I forgot about the loud exhaust competition. Unbelievable. How can I forget? He's got so many sponsors. I totally forgot about all of them. So you guys want to borrow $140 real quick? They're going to Vegas. And they couldn't wait. It's an unfortunate situation. Jed needs Habas Law. That's a good one. Actually, they could have helped it. They could have helped him. There he is. There's Larry.
Better?
Yeah, we're good. Larry, your chat made a good point that Jed York could have used Habas Law. They could have used Habas Law. He'll fight to make it right.
Yeah, they need somebody to fight to make it right because it's been wrong. It's been really wrong. But yeah, welcome back to the Kreuger Show. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. The best barbecue in all of Northern California is Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera, soon to open in Petaluma. The Kreuger Show also presented by Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Prize Picks, super simple. You just pick more or less on player stats or game outcomes and build your lineup. It's available in most states, including California. And Prize Picks has a brand new offer. Sign up with code HMA. Play your first $5 lineup. Get $150 in bonus lineups if it's a winner. That's code HMA. Play $5, get $150 in bonus lineups if your first lineup wins. And also thank you to Novato Chevrolet. The only place I will buy a Chevrolet is Novato Chevrolet. Go check them out on the web. Awesome spot. NovatoChevrolet.com. Family-owned dealership. We'll talk more about them later on. But Raj, we wanted to get into lots of different stories today in Ninerland. Obviously, the first one being, the Jed York deal, and I guess we could start there. It's and obviously it's a story that the 49ers are, it's not a good story, and it's the only thing I would say is it's kind of sad how many people seem to be kind of rejoicing in it, like you're really people are really, it's one thing to be like, well, Jed screwed up, and it's there's no doubt, but the number of people that seem to be kind of downright joyous about it seems a little off-putting. It's this is a man who, got himself and stepped in it and really made a mistake, but it's just it's such an obvious mistake. It's to kick somebody when they're down. I don't know. It's a little, to me, it's a little over the top, but I do understand why people don't like Jed. Nobody seems like they like rich guys, and he's had other problems in the past, and people have loved to take him out back and beat him up. But Kyle Shanahan,
mistakes. He's made
mistakes.
And not only that, to your point, I'll let you go, but
yeah,
I feel like the fan base kind of came together. It was weird. Like, a lot of times people on Twitter are opposing. There's like a lot of people fighting each other on the timeline about the team. Everybody was united, and they were all united, just cracking jokes on Jed. Like, the memes were generational. The jokes, I mean, you got the quest for sex, and all these things that people were saying. Like, the people were coming together, and I think you're right. A lot of people have been sour on Jed ever since the Jed York and Harbaugh and Balky situation. Like, through those times, kind of had to regain the trust of the Niner fans. And now here we go. I feel like he had a little bit more trust, and now it's like, oh, what the heck, Jed?
Well, okay, so this is, I guess, my point is that there is nothing in this that makes Jed look good. It's Jed looks bad, right? He looks terrible. And he looks like he's crashing, and he's getting a divorce, and now he's seeking out sexual relations at a trailer park home in Ohio. It's just so low and bad on so many levels. And Shanahan, of course, was asked about it today. He knew he was going to be asked about it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's annoyed as hell that he gets asked about it, because it's like he's not associated with this, but now he's got to front this to some degree. And more details are coming out. Jed, according to the reports I've read, used a fake name to text a person that he thought was somebody he was meeting for a sexual encounter, and it turns out he got caught up in a sting operation. Shanahan said basically it's a very tough situation. It's a very, very personal matter. And then he said, I've got respect for Jed, or Danielle, his wife, respect for their family. And then I asked him, hey, is there going to be any impact on the football team? And I don't think he understood at first, but then he said, no, there's not going to be any impact on the football team. And then the question is there going to be any impact on the organization? I talked to some people who have been in the organization for a long time, and they said it's really split, because there's people there that, Jed has not been around a lot this year. So the people that are new to the Niner organization don't really have any face time or any real relationship with Jed. And then there's the people that have been around a long time, and those people are, really shocked by this. And I don't know that anybody's really rocked by it overall, but I mean, there's a lot of people that were very surprised by this. And the other thing that was interesting, talking to people around the team today, is that nobody seemed to know that Jed and his wife were divorcing.
Yeah, the news was
surprising. News to the PR staff. This was news to the front office staff. I don't know about Guido and Lynch and the people that are probably closest, to Jed, but from what I heard, it was a huge surprise that Jed and Danielle were getting a divorce.
Yeah.
So it caught a lot of people by surprise.
I thought so too.
But Shanahan said no impact on the football team. And I asked the people, will there be, is this, how much does Jed have to do with the day-to-day running of the 49ers right now? And how much impact is there on the day-to-day running of the 49ers? And what I was told was that, if you're a sponsor who's thinking about cutting some, 7-figure check to the Niners right now to sponsor their, them in some way or shape or form, you might be, having second thoughts, and you might be pausing on that front. But for the most part, and this is the part that's kind of the ironic part, there's so many people that, want to use what happened, this incident, as Jed's got no credibility. Hasn't done anything good. But in reality, Jed's done a lot of good things. He brought in Shanahan. He brought in Lynch. People joked about how he didn't know when Christian Kirk was signed. But that's what we wanted. We didn't want Jerry Jones. We wanted a guy to hire somebody who knows football and get the fuck out of the way. And that's exactly what Jed has done for the most part on the football side. He's got Lynch. He's got Shanahan. Shanahan said that the Niners are an organization that's run completely by the football side of things. And that Jed doesn't really have an impact in the football side of things. And thus his, issue here that may take him off the playing field or suspended by the league, we'll see, is really going to have a zero impact. But the ironic thing is that Jed put together a really good team of business people with Guido and the people they have on that side of the thing. And then, of course, a really good football side with Lynch and all of his football operations people and Shanahan and their coaching staff. And I'm not saying it runs itself, but I think it's ironic that people are going to be like, Jed blew this, because in reality, Jed has blown his own personal life, and he obviously has real issues there.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. But I kind of feel like his professional life may save his football team and his organization. I don't think the 49ers are going to be a disaster as an organization. I don't believe the 49ers are going to be a disaster on the football field. I think they're going to have a lot of success this year, both business-wise and on the field, despite, Jed crashing in his personal life. That's how I see it. How do you see it?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of ways to look at this, but, the first thing is, when I first saw the news, I was like, oh my God, like imagine going to jail, doing all this stuff. You come home to your wife and your kids, like that's got to be embarrassing for him and his family. But I did find out, we all know that I guess he got divorced in May a couple months ago. So, I guess it makes it less, he's not as dirty as it was because, it is what it is. But it wasn't cheating on his wife doing this. Who knows what he did in the past with his wife. So again, that kind of changes things. But at the same time, I still think it is a distraction for this team. It's just another hurdle, another distraction this team has to have. Again, it's not necessarily going to impact the football field. And I like the way that Kyle said, hey, he's been in Ohio anyways this summer. He hasn't even been around the team. He's a text away if we need him. But one of the things that when John and Kyle took over this team was they kind of got him out of the mud where he was not really having to make too many decisions. Like, yeah, I'm sure he has some say in the back end of things. When Prague was there, he had a lot of say. But now, you got Al Guido, who's got a lot of power in this team, and John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. So for them, they know, okay, we got a good front office. It is what it is. And he can go deal with his personal life, which it looks like it's a mess. Like, you got to be down astronomically bad to do what he just did. Calling this, website, making multiple messages, kept on texting this sex worker he thought ended up being a cop, and he got caught in the sting. Like $160. Like, again, I'm not going to judge you if you want to go do that stuff. They're in Vegas this week, Larry. There's the Bunny Ranch. You could have went and done it legally. But anyways, I digress. To me, it does seem like a distraction because the media is going to keep talking about it. Whether John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan want to say it's a distraction, it is. And the 49ers, though, the one team that is able to deal with distractions and kind of rise above it is this Niner team. Like, how many years do we always talk about, like, the porn star Jimmy? We've had the injuries. We've had the BA saga. We've had the contract. We had the Debo. We had everything every year that we deal with. And they're still usually getting either to the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship or the playoffs or whatever the case is. So the one team that can kind of rise above these things is the Niners. But still, as a fan base, it's just embarrassing to see your owner with the mugshot. You saw the mugshot in his orange jumpsuit. It's just embarrassing as a fan base.
It is. But, here's the thing about it. Did you really believe? I mean, it's like, what's your level of disappointment? I don't have any reason to believe. To me, it's not like innocent until proven guilty. Yeah. To me, it's like it's a different deal altogether. You're not a good person unless you prove you're a good person. To me, I don't go through life assuming everybody's a good person. So when people show that they're not a good person by doing things like this, it doesn't make me, I'm not surprised by it. And it's not like, oh my God, I can't believe Jed's not a great guy. What? I didn't think he was a great guy before, so so I'm not disappointed, if that makes any sense. I'm not disappointed. He didn't let me down because I didn't build him up. Okay. I didn't think he was like, some moral compass for the rest of us. So I don't really, what is he? He's just a guy who owns a football team. There's no reason at all he should be of any higher moral fiber than any other individual. So to me, it doesn't disappoint me because I didn't have high expectations for him, period. But you're right. It's not good. It's not positive. It's obviously a negative. The question I would have is distraction. I mean, you could argue today was a distraction, and you could argue when Shanahan, got into his accident and he called all those media people to his office, and there people are talking about it. You could argue that was a distraction.
Absolutely.
But even so, it's like if you said to me, are the 49ers, has this camp been like a huge distraction because of the Shanahan thing? I'd say no.
No.
I would say it was a story, but it wasn't a huge distraction. Is this season going to be a huge distraction because of this thing with Jed? Today was, and maybe there'll be a couple more media people that ask in the next media session something about it, especially when they go international media. Somebody may ask something about it. But as far as daily distraction, no. A distraction would be like if you had something, two guys warring in your locker room, some kind of, significant player who's demanded a trade and you're not trading him. And it's all, the Ayuk thing is the definition of a distraction. There was so much talk about that this offseason. That was a legitimate distraction. These things are unfortunate and they're blips on the radar, but I don't know if they're really distractions long term. I just think maybe today, how could you argue that the Jed thing is not a distraction today? Really? Really? Well,
in the short term,
like we're always talking to you about the character of your owner. We're always asking the inside linebacker about the character of the owner of the team. So it's preposterous to suggest that it's not a distraction. But I think my question today to Kyle Shanahan was like, what's the overall impact on the football team? And he said none, and I agree with him. I don't think there is any. I don't think the Niners are not going to not win the Super Bowl because Jed picked up a prostitute or tried to pick up a prostitute. And they're not going to not win the Super Bowl because Kyle Shanahan, shouldn't have looked down at looking for his phone and take his eyes off the road. They may not win, but it won't be because of those two reasons.
Yeah, no, it's a distraction in the short term. I know PR, they're going to sweep it on the rug. As long as they don't talk about it in-house, then they'll be able to move forward. But for now, and again, the media is going to run with the story. We'll see if more details come out. Now, again, there's going to be the league's going to review it, and we'll see what the ramifications are. Maybe they suspend him. Maybe we lose a draft pick. I don't know. That would be
then there's an impact.
We'd have an issue. So there is some ramifications that come from it. And again, this is not going to affect how George Kittle plays. It's not going to affect how Fred Warner plays, but it's just something in the back of your mind you're thinking of. And you know what? It's like if you work at any job, this happened to your boss, you're like, holy crap, okay. You're going to talk about it amongst yourselves. No matter what you say, it's not going to affect your performance at work, but you're always going to be talking about it. And it's just another thing that you got to go through. But it is life. Things happen. People do stuff. People are crazy. People are weird. It is what it is. I mean, he didn't murder anybody, so it could be worse,
But there's an impact of this thing. To me, here's the impact. The impact, I mean, what's a real impact? Here's a real impact. I think John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have better job security today than they had yesterday.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've heard people say, what? And I'm like, yes. Jed York yesterday could have been like, hey, you know what? We've had 3 bad drafts, 21, 22, 23. Lynch, hey, you're on the hot seat. Shanahan, it's like, hey, what if they miss the playoffs this year? Shanahan potentially could be on some kind of, I mean, he's not really on a hot seat. He's one of the best coaches in football. But you know what I'm saying? It's like there could be expectations and they haven't gotten the ultimate prize. The ultimate prize is this is a franchise that judges itself by winning Super Bowls. They haven't won the Super Bowl. So you could argue that at some point they're going to have to get the mission accomplished. And they are 10 years into the thing. Andy Reid got 13 years, but who knows how many years they're going to get. They still haven't achieved the goal. And yet, because now Jed's credibility is totally in the toilet, and they're the face of the franchise on the football side, I think they have better job security. You can't get rid of John Lynch. John Lynch is a highly credible Hall of Fame football player who, is the adult in the room. You can't get rid of Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan's one of the 5 best coaches in football by anybody's standards. You shouldn't have gotten rid of him before, but now with this, they have more job security, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Their seat is cold, and it's even colder now. But, at the end of the day, as crazy as the story is, like, there has been a lot of adversity, like we said, throughout the years. Maybe they use this and they rise above it and they overcome adversity. Maybe this is, the football god's way of saying, hey, you know what? Jed takes one for the team. Maybe Niners win a Super Bowl. I don't know. Crazier things have happened.
Seriously, maybe this is the year they do it.
Who knows? I don't know. But, hey, Jed York needs to stay far away. And according to Kyle Shanahan, he has been staying away. So I don't think it's going to affect the operations. But it is just something that the media is going to continue to talk about. And as a fan, it's just annoying because the 49ers have become a laughingstock with this. Like the memes, the jokes. I mean, oh my God, all the memes.
Could you imagine for poor Jed, by the way, Raj? He bought, he inherited the team that Eddie ran. Under Eddie, they were a dynasty. Mm-hmm. They have not won a title in 30 years. Wouldn't it be something if somehow the commissioner put some kind of 1-year ban on him where he can't go to Niners stuff for a year? I don't know. Let's just say, and what happens if the year that he was banned, they won it all?
Man, can you imagine?
It would almost be like, Jed, you're the guy that can't win it. We can win it without you.
Maybe.
And Eddie can win it, but you can't win it, Jed. I mean, it would be, in a way, I would feel so bad for him.
I wouldn't. Hey, we need If he's the sacrifice, I saw someone on Twitter post like,
because they're not gonna not win because he doesn't have any meaningful role.
No,
he has no meaningful role in football. None. He cuts the checks and he stays out of the way. He has no meaningful role. So it's not like he's doing anything or not doing anything. So it would just be totally happenstance. If he got suspended this year and they won it all, he would never live it down.
I love it. I wouldn't feel bad for him. Someone on Twitter, I think it was East Bay Chris, is like, maybe this is the secret sauce. If they win it and this is what happened next year, do it again. Do it again. Go ahead this time.
Go back to the
the Wheat Mill Trailer Park.
Wheat Mill Trailer Park.
Community.
Hey, maybe the Niners. Are you saying maybe the Niners should stay there in between, like East Coast road trips?
No. Can you imagine if they did? You know where Jed's going.
They're not staying at the Greenbrier. They're staying at the Wheat Mill.
Where Jed's going? Can you imagine?
Jesus. That would just be awful. Just awful. But I would feel bad if they won the Super Bowl.
Feel bad?
Because this guy's singular focus is to win the Super Bowl. He's been trying to get out of Uncle Eddie's shadow forever. And if he somehow, for whatever reason, got himself, banned by the commissioner for 2026 season, and the Niners went and won the Super Bowl, I mean, you don't see how that would be. You don't see how that would be potentially satisfying but torturous to Jed.
No, he was trying to get satisfied, and he didn't get.
Stop.
No, I would not feel bad for the man.
Stop.
Larry, I would not feel bad for the guy.
Stop. All right, enough with the jokes. All right, today was training camp practice number 17. Let's go through a few things. 23 players didn't play today. Shanahan said that barely any starters will start Thursday night in Vegas against the Raiders in preseason game number 3. In fact, he basically said it was going to be like preseason game number 1. So does that mean no Brock Purdy? It sounds like maybe that's the direction they're going. And he offered this up because he said we've had so many injuries that we don't want to put our starters out there in week 3 of the preseason. So it's always kind of a snooze fest, but Thursday promises to be even more of a snooze fest. Well, I mean, at least there'll be no starters.
I mean, I wouldn't say a snooze fest because you got a lot of people hungry to make this roster. I still think it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
I'll watch it. I'm not saying don't watch it. I'm just saying it's not going to be the starters. And there was talk that the starters were going to play a quarter. They're not. I don't think they're going to play a quarter.
I don't want them to. I need them to be healthy for week 1 in Australia. I do not want to see anybody get hurt. I'd rather have Martinez out there than Brock Purdy. I don't care.
Oh yeah. So today though, George Kittle not participating. Participated in the individual drills, but not participating in the team drills.
Yeah.
Dre Greenlaw participating in the individual drills, but during the team drills, he ran on the side.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. I really don't. I think that's the smart way to go. I wouldn't. Why put both? CMC was in there, but he wasn't in there very much. He definitely looks fresh. He looks amazing, but he just got a handful of touches. And why? Why bother putting guys out there when you have the potential to be getting them hurt? I don't see the wisdom in getting your guys hurt. And to me, it makes perfect sense. I was looking at, just some of the Mike Evans with the groin hopes to return next week to practice. Robert Jones hopes to return next week. Christian Kirk, Vidarian Lowe, they're candidates for short-term IR. Nick Bosa, Kyle says he's hopeful he'll be back at practice next week. Curtis Rourke's out with broken ribs. Nick Martin was on the side field. Dom Pooney's got concussion. He's on the side field. Juice, Graham, Mustafa, Cowing, Stout, Pleasance, Jones. They're all on the side field working out.
Yeah.
I got no problem with them. I'm looking at the list. Garendo and Mikael Williams are on the PUP.
Mm-hmm.
Evans, Cowing, Pooney, Stout, all missed time today. And Bosa's got tendonitis, maybe back next week. So, they've got, and then as far as the full list of guys who didn't participate today, Bosa, Evans, Cowing, Stout, Pooney, Rourke, Rob Jones, Pleasance, Romello Height with the ankle, Nick Martin with the hamstring, Renardo Green with the hamstring. He was also on the side field. Jalen Graham, Wesley Grimes with a hand, Grayson Halton with an ankle, Luke Gifford with a hammy, Juszczyk with a broken finger, Toth with a concussion, Christian Kirk with a calf, Malik Mustafa with a hamstring, Vidarian Lowe with a high ankle sprain, Nate Hobbs with a groin. So when you have that many guys, I don't mind that they're taking extra precautions with Greenlaw and Kittle and some of these guys, CMC and Bosa. It sounds like a lot of these guys could be out there if they needed them out there, but instead they're dinged up, and so they're just kind of slow playing this. What do you think? All the injuries. It just seems like every day there's something new.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but at this point, with preseason coming and the last game of the season in preseason and the roster cuts this weekend, I think a lot of these are precautionary. We saw Chris McCaffrey come back this weekend, Kittle ramping up. They said Bosa's probably going to be back next week, and he said it a couple weeks ago that he's just trying to ramp up, and he thinks the 4 weeks that he had during this preseason time was enough to get him ready for week 1. So a lot of these things, Greenlaw, I think, is precautionary. Now, Nick Martin, hamstring, Renardo Green, that's something hopefully these next couple weeks can, manifest so he can get better. The only one I'm really concerned about is Mike Evans, man. I love the guy, but he's had a lot of injury, groin, hamstring, quad, not a hamstring. I think it was a groin and a quad injury.
And a quad, groin and quad.
Well, groin and quad, and it's back and forth. And I get it. He probably doesn't need to be there. He just wants to get his self in shape and everything. I hope it doesn't manifest and linger into the season. It just feels like he's not going to make it through a 17-game season. He's probably going to have some lingering, a quad issue here, a groin issue. Maybe he might miss a game or two here and there. I don't know. That one is a little irritating to me.
He's an older player. He only played about 30% of the snaps last year.
Yeah, I know.
So that's a
good
concern.
Player, but that's my concern. Mike Hill's probably not going to be ready for week 1. Christian Kirk, I didn't think he was going to make the roster because of the injuries, and Kyle pretty much said, yeah, he's most likely going to start IR. So that kind of gives him that leeway to let, a guy like Cowing and Watkins to make that roster. So it's not, they don't have to go too crazy to make that final pick. I think Cowing showed himself that he's ready. He can be that punt return guy. He's not as feeble as he looked over the last couple of weeks and months, but we'll see. He's still got this big game on Thursday. As I know it's not going to be great because the starters aren't there, but there's a lot of players still fighting for that roster spot. And these injuries have opened up the door, right? Left guard, we still don't even know who the heck your starting left guard is. So a lot of guys like Carver Willis, Connor Colby, they have a big game to prove themselves and maybe win a roster spot or a starting spot. So, yeah, these injuries, I don't think they're too bad because a lot of them is just precautionary. But there are a few out there that I'm like, mainly the Mike Evans one.
Today was the last practice. Tomorrow's a walkthrough, no media. Thursday's the game. Sunday's the cut down from 90 to 53. Mm-hmm. Shanahan made one point today, and that was that the Niners pro personnel department is going to scour all the NFL waiver wire lists to see if there's a player in another camp that they like more than the guys that are in their camp. So, I think all these projections about the 53, I mean, we have no idea who they like around the league or who's potentially they like around the league that potentially could get cut. So we really don't know. I mean, there might be the roster, so just remember that when you're watching guys do their 53-man roster and when they seem just like totally sure of themselves, like this is absolutely going to happen and that is absolutely going to happen, they're full of shit, because the reality is that NFL teams look at every team in the league and there's, a receiver could make it and there could be a better receiver in another camp and they just go, we're going in that direction.
Yeah.
One negative from today is that Carver Willis had a disastrous practice in the one-on-ones. CJ West beat him like a drum with a spin move. Bryson Eason also beat him badly in a couple of the one-on-ones. I mean, Willis had two of the more decisive losses in the O-line, D-line one-on-ones where West and Eason just outquicked him and he lunged in the wrong direction and they got the quarterback. So I don't know. I mean, I think Carver Willis has been running with the ones. He's probably the guy who's got the best chance to start. But if it was based on some of the one-on-ones today, it was baptism by fire. Now, there were some positives today, and there were a lot of positives, and I'm going to give you a couple of them. One, man, Larry Worth had a PBU on Jake Tonjes, and Larry Worth has not played very much, but, man, Larry Worth can cover the tight end like a mother. I mean, this guy's ability to shut down and blanket coverage the tight end is awesome. He was all over Jake Tonjes. And look at this division. You got A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo in Seattle. You got amazing Rams room of tight ends. They got like 5 good tight ends there. You got Trey McBride in Arizona. You got 6 games against 3 teams that have really good tight ends. And this kid looks, I don't know if he's going to make it or not. We'll see. But, man, he's coming on. He's going to play a lot on Thursday night. And it'll be interesting. If he plays huge, they might have to take him. And if he doesn't play huge, maybe he'll slide through. But his coverage on the tight end in the last couple of weeks in some of these practices, he is blanketing tight ends. And they just can't get away. They cannot get away from this kid. So he's got great length. He looked amazing. Dejon Stribling today continued. He's wearing the blue jersey, and Jack Jones and Marquise Seaguar still knocking him down. And a couple times Lynch looked over, like he was walking over to Jack Jones to be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? What are you hitting Dejon Stribling for when he's got the blue jersey on? John showed a little resolve, but I guarantee you, if Stribling had been hit one more time, they would have stopped practice and said, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, he went down twice from hits while wearing the blue jersey at practice, which is a non-contact jersey.
Yeah, come on, man. I mean,
so he looks amazing, though. And Kalen Black looks even more amazing. Shifty and explosive. So Stribling looks amazing. Black looks amazing. Larry Worth is looking better and better and better and better. Osa Odigizua has just been dominating, and he just continued to dominate today. Now, that we expected. What we didn't expect, and this is becoming a story, is James Thompson Jr. is dominating. Now, you and I believe it was you and me. I thought we did a stream about a week or two before training camp, and I could have swore that one of the topics we went with in one of those streams, in June or July, early July, was bold takes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of my bold takes was that James Thompson Jr. would run with the ones at some point.
Okay.
Raj, he's running with the ones.
Running with the ones. Look at Larry, man.
Running with the ones right now. And he was awesome today. He beat Doug Kramer and Nick Sakel just in two of these one-on-ones. He's winning just so completely and thoroughly and decisively. He gets low. He understands leverage. He's got great strength. They can't handle him. Raj, he had a rep today against Kramer that was so savage. It was off the charts. And this kid is playing incredibly well. Huge positive. Huge.
Is he making the roster? Is he making the 53? Do you think he's that good?
Yes. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. He is on the 53. No doubt in my mind. He's running with the ones. He's potentially going to start.
Okay. Wow.
Start.
We're
talking about UDFA. Gonna start. Potentially start. He looks better than Alfred Collins. He's splitting first team reps with Alfred Collins. The guy is really good. And it's funny, yesterday, Colton McKivitz, I asked Colton McKivitz about him, and McKivitz was like, when he first came in here, I thought he looked like an offensive lineman. And now he looked like one of us. And now he's just totally on the, dominating and looks amazing as a defensive lineman. So they got something there, man. And then Marquise Siegel had a pick today of Purdy. Purdy hit Farrell with a couple red zone touchdowns. And then we saw Deion Jones debut wearing number 50. He looks pretty athletic.
Okay.
So a lot of good things today. But James Thompson Jr. is something else, and he's really coming on. What did you think of the trade that the Niners made, sending Zamir White away for Deion Jones?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I was like, okay, they got another linebacker. Then I realized Nick Martin, he's got the hamstring injury. I think Garrett Wallow has a minor injury. So tells me they definitely need the depth this week going into Vegas. They got to make sure they have, enough people that can suit up at linebacker. And, the guy has played under Raheem Morris a couple years ago, had his best year under Raheem Morris. And honestly, they didn't really give anything up. They got White a couple weeks ago, August 12th. It was a depth piece because they had Black and Jordan James were on the mend. It's like, okay, we need a running back. Now you get those two guys back. You basically gave up a depth piece, that you really didn't need for a guy that might actually be able to come into the roster, could take a spot if somebody goes on the PUP or has to, miss some time, or it could be a valuable practice squad player. So, I mean, it wasn't like a groundbreaking, earth-shattering trade, but he's a solid veteran, and he had his best years with Raheem Morris. I thought it was a good trade for the 49ers. Hey, and the Saints, they needed some running back depth because Kamara's knee injury is a little bit worse than they thought. So, win for both teams. It was weird that you have a straight trade player for player in the NFL. It doesn't always happen. So, it was interesting. I thought both teams benefited from it, and I think the Niners, they probably needed some depth there. Hey, games this weekend, this Thursday, and I don't think Nick Martin's playing. So, hey, this guy's got a chance to really showcase if he can be part of this team.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a really good trade. I mean, Zamir White is not as good as Khalil Herbert. He's not as good as Sincere McCormick. So he was going to lose out roster spot-wise to those guys. So maybe he was going to be on the practice squad. And now he gets traded to New Orleans, where Alvin Kamara's got an MCL sprain and Kendry Miller's got a back injury, and Devin Neal, the second year back from Kansas, has pulled his hamstring. So New Orleans needed a back. And here's Zamir White. They call him Zeus. And he was, once upon a time, he was a 5-star recruit. But he had fallen behind in the, as you said, he'd only shown up for a couple of weeks. So the Niners basically trading a guy that they were going to cut anyway.
Yeah.
And to get Deion Jones is 31, 6'1", 220-pound linebacker, played at LSU, second-round pick by the Falcons in 2016, Pro Bowler in 2017. He's a New Orleans kid, born in New Orleans, Jesuit High School in New Orleans. His dad named him after Deion Sanders, and they call him Debo because he's named partly after Deion Sanders and partly after Bo Jackson.
Wow.
So the Niners have a second Debo. His nickname at LSU was War Daddy. He was a really good player at LSU, and he now reunites with Raheem Morris. They were together 2016 through 2020. He went to the Pro Bowl with Raheem Morris.
Mhm.
Played 2 years, last 2 years with Tampa. He played all 17 games last year. He's played with Atlanta, Cleveland, Carolina, Buffalo, Tampa, New Orleans, and now the Niners. When he came out of LSU, he had 4.38 speed. He had a 1.52 10-yard split, 18 reps at 225. We're talking about 90th percentile in all those categories. Niners wanted him prior to that draft. They conducted a private workout. The guy had five seasons already in his career where he's had over 100 plus tackles. So I just think they're looking at this linebacking core and they're saying, Larry Worth, we're not sure. Jaden Duggar, we're not sure, like what they can contribute. Nick Martin, as you said, is dinged. Wallow's dinged. Gifford's dinged. He's got a soft tissue injury. So you got 3 linebackers down, and this guy can play. So I think he makes the team. I think he makes the team and plays. Obviously, you got Greenlaw, and you got Warner, and you got Bethune, but they need another linebacker who's for sure. And Deion Jones at 31, I think that was a great pickup for Zamir White.
Like you said, veteran guy that knows Raheem's system, and with the injuries, he might be able to make the roster for a little bit. And you're getting rid of a guy that wasn't even going to make the roster in the first place. That, to me, was the biggest. I was like, White's not even going to make the roster, especially when you get Black and Jordan James back. Right. We're going to cut him. So instead of just cutting him, get somebody that you can use on your roster. That was a great trade.
It was great. And as you said, we don't see them that much, but you know what? It was a good move. I'm not saying Deion Jones is going to be some superstar, but you know what? He should be able to play and help them right away. All right, let's do our prize picks lineup. We'll get everything moved around here. We're going to go with sacks this time. And let's see, let's move there we go. Okay, we'll put that there. And we should just tell you that the Kreuger Show, Prize Picks, has a brand new offer. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app. It's incredibly easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats, lock in your lineup, and you're ready to go. Brand new offer. New users play their first $5 lineup, get $150 in bonus lineups if that first lineup is a winner. Lock in that first lineup. Go get the dub. Prize Picks. Code HMA. Download the app. Do it now. All right, let's take a look tonight at sacks. So what do you think of these sack totals? You like anybody more or less? Are you passionate about guys getting a lot of sacks or not? I love this one for Ruben Bain. I think he's going to have a good year. 7, all he needs is 6.5 sacks.
Okay.
Yeah, that gets you over. So I like that one.
Rashawn Gary might go over 7.
Yeah, he needs 7.5. I like that too.
Okay.
I kind of like Kyle Hamilton, who's probably going to be used as a blitzer. All he needs is 2 sacks on the year.
2 sacks? Come on. Easy money.
He could have 2 sacks in a game.
Okay.
And I kind of like this one right here. I like Talanoa Hufanga. Are you telling me the entire year he's not going to get a half sack?
At least a half a sack, baby. That's easy money.
Yeah, that is. I think that is easy money. So let's submit it. $5 wager. And let's submit it. Let's see what it looks like. We'll view our lineup. We're going 4-pick power play. $5 pays 50. Ruben Bain's got to have 6.5 sacks. Rashawn Gary's got to have 7.5 sacks. Kyle Hamilton's got to have 2 sacks. Talanoa Hufanga's got to have a half a sack. If all 4 of those things happen, our $5 turns into $50. Thank you to Prize Picks for being a proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. We appreciate Prize Picks, and then we'll move everything back and move Raj and I back to we're back on the main stage. There you go. All right. Thanks to Prize Picks for being a proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. A couple other mentions here before we hit a couple more topics. West Coast Diesel's 10th annual event is coming up Saturday, September the 12th. Gates open at 10 a.m., close at 9 p.m. It's at the Chris Beck Arena on the Sonoma County Fairgrounds up in Santa Rosa. What is it? It's the biggest diesel truck celebration in all of Sonoma County, featuring tractor pulls, show and shines, dirt drags, dyno, loudest exhaust competition, and more. It's the 10th annual event, family-friendly atmosphere, $30 general admission, kids 5 and under are free. Tickets are available now at both of West Coast Diesel's locations on Airway Drive and Sebastopol Road. You can purchase at the gate on event day, which is September 12th. If you want more information, and I know you do, the phone number is 707-595-3026. The website is westcoastdiesels.com. That's westcoastdiesels.com/pages/events, and you can find out more about the event. Also, thank you to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. The great Anthony Catania is at 831-521-5264. He's a great follow on Instagram at Sharp Corners 831 on the gram. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue. October 2nd is their next Friday night trade night from 6 to 9 p.m. Thank you to Sharp Corners Sports Collectibles, Sports Cards and Collectibles. And also thank you to our good friends at Novato Chevrolet. The only place I'll buy a Chevrolet is Novato Chevrolet. Check them out on the web at novatochevrolet.com. All right. What are you looking forward to? Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. What did you think of the Niners signing Viliami Fehoko from San Jose State, who is the second cousin of Vita Vea?
Yeah.
Went to St. Francis and Mountain View. He's a Lancer. What do you think of San Jose State? Viliami Fehoko coming to town. He wore 61 today at practice. What do you think of that move?
Yeah, San Jose State legend. The guy was pretty good. I looked up his film and stuff. And the cool thing is, hey, we got Vita Vea at home. I know we all wanted Vita Vea, but we got this second cousin. And I was actually intrigued at this pick. I'm actually excited to see him play tomorrow in that Thursday on the preseason game. To me, that's one of the guys I'm really excited. I hope he can showcase himself and at least make the practice squad. I'm very intrigued by this kid because I think he can. He's got some talent in his, bloodlines there, obviously. So I thought that was a really cool signing when I saw that. He's a local guy and everything. So I hope he really sticks around and they can develop him into something. And we'll see. If he gets a sack tomorrow, on Thursday, I'm gonna be. I keep thinking it's Wednesday. But no, I'm excited for this guy, and I saw that, and I actually wanted to ask you, so I'm glad you asked me. I'm excited for this young kid, and we'll see what he does on Thursday, man. I'm very, very intrigued.
I am too, man. I really am. Now, okay, some people could listen to this and be like, "Why are you intrigued by Viliami Fehoko?" Well, let me tell you. He went to San Jose State. He's 6'3", 275, fourth round pick by Dallas in the 23 draft. Okay. As I said, second cousin of Vita Vea, St. Francis High School. Raj outlined it there. Mountain View kid. Broke out in 2020 at San Jose State. He was first team all Mountain West Conference. But what I love about this kid is he can do it. He can play the position. He doesn't have crazy twitch. He doesn't have crazy bend. He doesn't have crazy burst. What he has is really great, strong hands, a bag full of moves, and a tremendous amount of production. 24 reps on the bench at 225 is good strength. 12 sacks for him as a senior. If you watch this kid, I actually know people that have studied his game. He's excellent with his hands. He can set the edge in the run game. He's got a nose for the football. He's got a chop move. He's got a club move. He's got a swim move. He's got an arm over move. He's got a spin counter move. He's really tough, and he plays kind of nasty, and he's got a nose for the ball. This was the Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Year in 2022. We're not talking about the best player at San Jose State. We're talking about the best player in the Mountain West Conference on the defensive side of the ball. This guy had 44 TFLs and 22 sacks in his last 3 collegiate seasons. He's got a motor. He's got moves. He's got violent hands. He hasn't ever really found a way. He went to Dallas. They were super deep. He's played in Washington and Indianapolis for a short amount of time. Now he's coming home. He's motivated. And I just think that he's a guy who, is going to gets by on effort and energy and desire and want. And you know what? Let's see it. I mean, Thursday night, if this guy could, I think it would be a great story. He's a guy with local ties. And if he could put together a couple sacks Thursday night and get his way onto the football team, they need more edge rushers. They need more edge pressure. And if this kid can do it, why not bring him to town, man? I'm
happy. Hey, Romelo's got an ankle issue. If he comes in, you can put Romelo on the ropes for a week or so, and maybe this guy would come in and help the rotation. But the guy has some talent, man. I was really impressed. Strong guy. We'll see. Again, maybe practice squad. Again, he's a young guy. They could develop him. Yeah, we'll see.
What's the over-under on guys that the 49ers add before week 1 that have ties to Raheem Morris? How many guys between now and week 1? They've added Deion Jones. How many more guys will they add because Raheem Morris was like, you know what? I like that guy. Get him.
Yeah, I think at the very least over 2. I think he goes at least that much because what they mentioned
I think you're right.
Over the weekend when they do the roster cuts, they're going to look at other rosters and players that are cut. Because here's the thing. They may have wanted to draft certain players that they didn't get to, that got drafted on another team. And if let's say Cowboys cut a guy they wanted and Raheem wanted him, they're going to get him. They're going to get players that Raheem has had ties to or maybe wanted to draft. So I think at the very least, 2. At the very least.
I would put the over-under at 1.5, and I'd go over. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. I think, I don't know if it's going to be Leonard Floyd, if it's going to be Jesse Bates, if it's who exactly it's going to be. There will be at least 2 more players that the Niners wind up with before the cutdown that have some connection to Raheem previously.
Oh, Bates would be nice.
Yeah. Oh, Bates would be fantastic. I mean, a safety would be great. An outside backer would be great. A defensive end would be great. I mean, there's a lot of different guys that he potentially could add.
Leonard Floyd, he's played on the Niners. He's played for Raheem before.
Leonard Floyd would make a lot of sense. All right. John Middlecoff weighed in on the Jed thing, and I haven't heard it, so let's hear it. This should be pretty good. Here's Middlecoff, 3 and Out podcast. He's calling it one of the most embarrassing moments in NFL history. Wow. Whew. This is going to be fire.
It's going to be good.
Here we go.
On that muggy.
Get ready. John Middlecoff.
I can't believe you're sober. I can't believe a sober human being would attempt that. The problem with that argument is it was 9:35 in the morning. One of the most embarrassing moments I ever remember in the history of the NFL. To have a guy that runs one of the most prominent franchises in American sports get arrested in a sting in a trailer park soliciting a the league is going to suspend him. I don't see how Jed York, suspension or not, would even be allowed into Australia given what just happened. The statement honestly makes it even more embarrassing. What I would recommend, not every human being that follows the 49ers or follows the NFL is waiting for a 49er statement. Hot take, don't say anything. I think Jed is going to have to say something. Maybe he goes to sex rehab or I don't know. Something's got to happen. Now, I've also seen some over the top, like he's going to get kicked out of the league. You're not getting kicked out of the league. You don't get kicked out of the league for a hook. That would be a slippery slope. I think he is lucky the cops were there. You roll into one of these trailer parks in the middle of fucking BFE, Ohio in a Range Rover or a Benz or whatever. This could have gone really, really bad. His mugshot will always be associated with a prostitute in a trailer park.
I like how his take is this could have gone really bad. What? It went really bad.
Maybe he thinks he could have got murdered or something. I don't know.
That's my crazy. God. It went like that wasn't bad enough. I mean, really? It could have gone really bad. What do you think about the suspension? You think that's coming?
I think it's possible. I think they might. I mean, again, this stuff's happened to a lot of people around the league. I mean, Robert Kraft as an example. We've had players do some crazy things and they don't get suspended. So it really depends on how they're going to look at this and see how detrimental it is and the conduct and everything. But ultimately, I think he will get a little bit of a suspension. I do think that there's going to be something. Maybe they fine him and hand a suspension for something. And again, I don't think the Niners are worried if he does get suspended because Kyle's already said, like, hey, he's not around the team. And maybe that was him preparing us for, hey, there's probably going to be a suspension. And it's okay if that happens because he's been in Ohio all off season. He's been away from the team. It's okay. So I do think there's going to be a suspension.
To me, I think a suspension probably would be good for Jed just as a wake up call. But I don't think that the football team, I don't think the football team is going to play well or play poorly in any way due to any aspect of this. But I hear what, it's a bad look, but for Jed, I would say probably in his best interest would be some kind of intervention or something, that's that basically kind of shows that some contrition, some growth, you've learned something from this, right? So, I mean, something like that. I mean, that's the thing. Give me two last thoughts. Do you want to keep 3 quarterbacks, or would you rather go with 2 and trade 1?
So today the news came out that Curtis Rourke played through he actually had broke his ribs. So to me, I think you got to put him on some injury list to start the season, IR or PUP. I wanted them to start with 3, but now, I mean, broken ribs is going to take a little bit to heal, and you might as well just let him sit on the IR, heal up for a couple weeks, and hope you don't need a third quarterback at that point. But no, I want him to go with 3, but because of the injury, stash him and you roll with Brock and Mac Jones. You don't need anybody else. I don't want to trade Mac. I don't want to trade Rourke, because this year, if Mac, shows himself and doesn't come back next year and he becomes, a starter somewhere, which he should next year, you're going to hope that Rourke is ready to take that next step and be your quarterback too. So I don't want to trade in these quarterbacks. I think Rourke showed some tenacity. He showed some good moxie and poise. I like the small sample size I saw of him. I want to see him continue to grow. But yeah, the ribs is definitely a little setback for him. But I think they stash him, keep Brock, keep Mac, and just roll that way.
Give me a player, and I would trade Rourke. I'd go with 2 and trade Rourke, but I'm not giving him away. I'd stash him injured if I could. Give me a player Thursday night that you're really fired up to see. So we're probably not going to see the starters.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to see, my guess is you may not see Stribling or Black either, because they're going to play significant amounts this year. But of the guys who you think we might see, who are you excited to see on Thursday
we mentioned
night?
One already, the guy we just signed, Vita Vea's cousin, Fumoko. But the guy I'm actually super excited to see this week, so we haven't seen him play. He's coming back from the broken ribs. Jordan James. I really want to see what Jordan James brings to the table. We saw what Kalen Black brought. That guy was fantastic in his first game back. Black, he looks like he could be that running back too. But there was a competition, and Kyle said, we still got to see what James can do. And before training camp started, Jordan James was the running back too. Kyle was saying this guy's going to get the crack at it. And then the rib injury, and he looked good in training camp before the injury. So I'm very, very, very excited to see what Jordan James is going to bring to the table. I think we're going to see a lot of him. And can he take that running back 2 role? It's still wide open. It's still an open battle.
I'm really eager to see Khalil Dinkins, who was just signed this week. Very strong-bodied run blocker. I really want to see your guy, as you just said there, Jordan James. I think that's a great call. And then I really would like to see Bryson Eason really go off and make the roster. And I want to see Larry Worth III. I think Larry Worth III has got a ton of talent. I really do. I think this guy's got the same workout numbers as Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles went 9th in the draft. And I'm looking at this linebacking core. Fred's older. Greenlaw's older and is probably fragile. Gifford's hurt right now. Martin's hurt right now. Wallow's hurt right now. You just signed Deion Jones, and you have Bethune and Jaden Duggar. Graham is hurt right now. I want to see Larry Worth go off. I would love it if Larry Worth took off in this game, made 10, 12 tackles, flew around, made tons of plays, and they were forced to put him on the roster. I want to see this kid. I think he moves differently than these other guys. He's huge and fast. He can convert speed to power, and he's going to put on another 10 to 12 pounds in the next year and become a real monster. But I'm going to predict Thursday night is the Larry Worth III breakout game. And I think he just has a monster night, flies all over the field, and makes tons of plays. So
I think he can.
I think he can. Yeah.
I'll be looking for your boy, Larry Worth.
Larry Worth. Got a great first name. All right, here we go. Let's hit our supers and we'll jet. Jet.
Okay.
Wall sack for Jed, my owner. Gold is thicker than water, Larry. That's my owner. Remember when T.O.?
Yeah. It's my quarterback.
That's my quarterback. That was awesome. Kenny 49ers. Does Jed have a teardrop tattoo yet?
That's good.
Wow.
He's got street cred. People are saying he's got street cred now because of this.
Oh man, he may have street cred, but he's lost all real cred.
Oh my God.
Stefan Niners. Lombardi explained it today. Post June 1st, you can spread the $140 over 2 years.
They lost. I saw someone tweet yesterday. Did the 140 count against the salary cap? Someone tweeted that yesterday.
Here's the question of the night. What color will Lombardi put Jed in on his chart?
Oh, shit. That's funny. Oh,
and Dave, if you're watching this, we love you, brother.
We
I
like
love
you.
you. I love you. Seriously. You're a good dude. Good man. We're just having a little fun. The MySpace guy. Larry, what were you doing in Chico yesterday? My hometown. Did you get a nice lunch anywhere? Keep up the good work. Go Niners. My third child, who's no longer a child. He's a man. And he goes there. He's a transfer. He went to JC for 2 years, and now he transferred to Chico. So he's up in Chico, and he needed a bike. So we got him a bike, and I drove it up to him.
wow. Look at
there you go.
Father of the year. I thought I was a good dad. Larry, mate.
Oh, dude, I mean, and I got a lot done. I did a video on Viliami Fajoko in Willows, someplace named Willows. And I did get lunch. Where did we get? Oh, we went to Chipotle. We went to Chipotle. What can I say?
It's a good meal.
Some people like it, some people don't. But yeah, that's what I was doing in Chico. If you must know. No, I'm just joking.
Man.
Yes, the MySpace guy. Go Chico. Big fan of Chico. And Garibay, will they look outside for defensive end or left guard at cutdown? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they will. Will they? I think definitely defensive end. Left guard, there's some good options there, but I think they could look outside as well. Stefan says it seems unwise not to spend a fourth on Jesse Bates. Oh, yeah. If you can get Jesse Bates, go get him. Please. Go get him, especially with what you got right now. You're very thin. Mustafa hasn't played all summer. He was working out today on the field, but he didn't have a smile on his face. It just doesn't look like he's going to be ready. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just doesn't seem like he's going to be ready.
Might start PUP.
Yeah. Sean the Great says, what are your thoughts on how this draft class fits the 53? Surprised at Kyle's response in the presser today? Fred's as well. Your thoughts on how this draft class fits the 53? Well, what did Kyle say that was so surprising that
so what he said about Stribling? So he says,
he doesn't want to give anything to these guys.
Yeah, he's not going to jump up and down on preseason. He's going to say he's looking good because what he said is he looks as good as he does in practice, which is good. But it's preseason. It doesn't mean anything right now. I got the full quote. He said, I have it. It says, he goes, so they asked him if he's encouraged by Deshaun Stribling's preseason. He says, no. I mean, the preseason games don't mean that much to me. He's been doing that in practice too. He's where we expected him to be. So I don't think it was a shot, but people are saying, oh man, he's disrespecting Stribling. I don't think he is. I think he's right. He's where he needs to be. He's doing good. He thought he was going to be a good wide receiver. He wouldn't have drafted him at 33 if he didn't think he was good. So for him, he's saying, yeah, he's good. We'll see how it goes in the regular season when the big dogs come out. So
as far as rookies, I think this is going to be a volume class for the Niners. I mean, let's just go through it. The rookies that are going to be on the team one way or another, either on the practice squad or on the team. Dejon Stribling, Carver Willis, Kalon Black, maybe Khalil Dinkins. I think they clearly like the two receivers, Will Pauling and Wesley Grimes. I think they're probably slated for practice squad. I love Grimes' potential. Bryson Eason, Grayson Halton, Romello Height, James Thompson. That's 4 defensive linemen. Larry Worth and Jaden Duggar, 2 linebackers. Ephesians Prysock, Jalen Stroman. I'll say this. I think 10 guys, 10 rookies will be on the team. 10.
53 or just practice also?
I'll say on the 53, I'll go Prysock, Worth, Thompson, Eason, Halton, Height, Duggar. 7 on defense. I'm going to go Stribling, Carver Willis, Dinkins, and Black.
11
on offense. That's 11. It's 11 rookies. And then I think there'll be more if you include practice squad. I think it's a good volume class. I think it's a really good volume class. It's a good class by John Lynch. They did a nice job here. There's no question about that. We got this one from a mountain goat. Kraft only got charged and beat the charges. Jed pleaded no contest. Big difference. Yeah. We do understand that. M. Bayless says the NFL has to suspend Jed for the Australia trip. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have to suspend him for that, but they probably are going to suspend him, I would guess. Mendez says Larry Worth should play that nickel spot. Oh, I know, he's amazing. I'm telling you, he's going to be utilized a lot. I can just feel it. Stefan Niner says, what is the worst player we've ever drafted in the Shanahan era? Cruz seems like the most non-NFL player I've seen as a rookie. Well, it was a traits pick by Firster in the 5th round on a guy who probably should have been in the 7th round or undrafted. They've reached dramatically. To me, the worst pick was taking Junior Bergen over Willie Lampkin. You have offensive line needs. Willie Lampkin was a destroyer at North Carolina. To me, he looked amazing. This guy can play center, guard. He's now probably going to make the Eagles offensive line, which is a freaking stacked offensive line. And you drafted Junior Bergen out of the FCS to satisfy your goddamn special teams coach. I mean, come on. I just said it. I just said it right there. Enough said. Already making enough enemies. Yay area. What's with Mustafa? He's hurt. He's got an injury. He's been hurt. He's been hurt and hurt and hurt. Now, what? I think is it a hamstring? What did I say it was before?
Mustafa, I think he had.
Is it a calf? Here, I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, look it up.
I'll give it to you. But yeah, Mustafa's got. What does he have? Hamstring. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and unfortunately, he's been out all summer, and they need him. He's probably their best safety. So
unfortunate.
It would be really nice if they could get him out there. All right, that is going to do it for us. Raj, thanks for stopping by. What do you got cooking the rest of the week, man?
Game day, and obviously we're going to be ready on the weekend. Make sure we get all the news for the roster cuts. Same old. Getting all the news, latest and greatest, and see what else is out there. But this weekend, roster cuts, and then next week, by the end of the week, I'm flying out to Australia, baby. Aussie. Oi. Are you going?
No way. What are you going to do on that flight? Have you ever thought about that?
What do you mean? What am I going to do?
You're going to sit for 16 hours? No.
Am I going to stand in the flight, tell them I have a bomb or something? What am I going to do? I'm going to sit and be on my phone and enjoy the flight.
For 16 hours you could sit?
So here's the thing. So we're
17 hours, isn't it?
So here's the thing. We're breaking it up in 2 parts because me and my friend, we're going to go pick up our other friend who lives in Hawaii. She used to live here, but she moved to Hawaii for work and stuff. So we're going to pick her up in Honolulu, stay overnight. The next morning, we're going to leave from Hawaii to Australia. So it's
you're doing it the right way.
6 hours, wait, have a day or two in Hawaii. I think it's 2 days in Hawaii. Then we're flying over to Australia, which is the 10-hour flight, but it's not that bad.
Same thing on the way back?
Yeah. No. Way back is going to be a full flight from Australia to SFO. That's where I don't know what I'm going to do.
If you had to, you want the middle seat, the window seat, or the aisle?
I'm a window seat no matter where I fly. I got to be window.
You got to be the window?
Got to be the window. I don't know why. It's like that window. I hate the.
I like the window. I like the window when I'm tired, but when I'm going there, I like to be in the aisle.
No.
When I'm on the way back, I like to be in the window.
No, I hate the aisle seat, man, because people come and go and no, man.
All right. Well,
but on our flight,
I want the review. We'll have to do a flight review.
So on my flight from Hawaii to Australia, I upgraded to premium seats, and then on the flight back, we upgraded the seat to like a premium because I'm not trying to fly way in the back of to Hawaii, whatever. That flight's 5-6 hour flight. Done that before. That's just a quick trip, regular, whatever. But the 2 flights, the long flights, we upgraded to premium seats, and we pre-ordered my meals on those flights. I'm like ready to go, baby.
Shit, what'd you order?
I think the first, I don't even remember, but they're pretty good. I mean, we'll see. They're going to be.
What airline? What airline?
Alaska.
Ooh,
airline.
I just flew Alaska. I kind of like it. I kind of like Alaska.
Yeah.
It's underrated. It's an underrated airline. All right. We got all of our supers in. We appreciate everybody. Thanks. Oh, by the way, the link's in the description for all of the sponsors. Hit like and subscribe on your way out the door. The like just helps more people find the overall stream in the algorithm. The subscribe, anytime we go live, don't have to miss a minute. I'm back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I got a busy Wednesday. Listen to this Wednesday sketch. This is a lot going on a Wednesday. Okay, so this is what your boy's doing tomorrow. 8 a.m. 49er Collective channel with Boone and Cone. That's 8 a.m. 9:30 in the morning, I'm going to be on KMBR with Murph and Marcus. At 10:45, I'm going to meet a radio friend for coffee. Then I've got 6 o'clock Niners Nightly. The great Jordan Elliott's going to stop by tomorrow.
Wow.
7:15, I'm going to be streaming with the great John Chapman on both channels. And then 8:30 tomorrow night, I'm going to be popping on the Paulie Mack YouTube channel with the great Paul Mack of KMBR fame. So that's a busy day, man. I'm going from 8 a.m. to like 9 p.m.
Grinding. Larry grinds, man. That's a grind of a day, bro.
I'm going to grind, dude. I'm going to grind.
Love
no it. Days off. No days off.
Nobody works harder than Larry Kreuger, man.
Dude,
You always, bro. The other day when you told me you were 3 a.m., did the joint, did the I don't know how you do it, man.
Well, I'll tell you, you know what happens to me though? I'll sit down on the couch to like watch, I had a little dinner. I sat down on the couch to like watch a little bit of the Giants game tonight. Dude, I almost drifted away. I almost fell asleep for the night and missed this stream because it's like once I sit down on the couch, it's like, oh man, no. I'm seriously, I'm faded. I'm about ready to call it. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Now I'm going to hit the gym, man. I'm going to start throwing some weights around tonight.
Sheesh, man. Yeah. 9:23 about to hit
9:23. The gym closes at 11:30. So I got to get over there and pump some iron. So that's going to do it for us. Thanks to Raj. Thanks to all of you. Have a great night. Thanks for supporting the Krug Show. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you won't get